Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to Yakiam, to the elect that are scattered across the four corners of this earth, pushing the truth and faith and sincerity. I'm the bro Shema Allah from the GMS Houston camp. And this lesson is basically going to be going into how the Israel, which are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the true Israelites of the Bible, have went from being the top people on earth, right? The most precious people, living, on the planet Earth. You see, which, we still are. But there was a falling away. You see, we was once, right, a great people abiding and following the laws, statutes, and commandments. You see, calling on the names of the Most High. You see, believing in the Most High. Right? You had some, wicked, men amongst us, some women, and you always got that. You always got that balance, right? But what I'm saying is, we was in a position better than what we are today. See, our people, they're basically dipping and dabbing in these different religions. They're walking after these different nations. They're not calling on the names Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Right? They just wicked. You see, the Most High, He created us to be a holy people. That's why He gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. So this made me just think about a scripture. Jeremiah 2:21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, holy, a right seed. And He did that through the law, statutes, and commandments. The Most High took us out of the land of Egypt, saved us out of bondage, out of slavery. And He gave us laws that we should, walk in and live in. See, high holy days, dietary laws, see, so on and so forth. See, how to treat each other. Our people do not follow that. Right? Everybody hating on each other, murdering each other, committing adultery against one another, stealing from one another, lying to one another. See, there's no love amongst our people. Only the ones who are coming back to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. See, that's how you truly love your brother or your sister or, whatever. By following after these commandments to the best of your ability. Right? Loving your neighbor as yourself. That's when coming to the truth, that's when you really understand what love is. You don't understand that in this world. This world is full of wickedness. They feel like love is just an emotion. No, it's backed by actions. And what actions? You see, walking according to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah's way, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. But it says, yet I had planted thee a noble vine, holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? And this happened to us all when we fell away. Right, but you got our people that just going to be far gone until the destruction comes. All right, hating on the prophets, hating the Most High, hating the Word, hating Yahweh Shai. All of these things. They are a part of this kingdom, a part of Esau's kingdom. They are part of Esau. So Yahweh Shai said, ye are of your father the devil. The lust of your father you will do. So instead of being that noble vine, right, they're a degenerate plant. Most I don't even recognize these people no more. All right. And if you're not serving the Most High, you're good for nothing. Because that's our power. That's the power of Israel, the God of Israel. And that's who we get, our prayers answered from, our well-being, our protection, everything. Daily bread. If you don't got the Most High, you're done for. It's like, and if you ain't worshiping him, it's like, why are you here? The Most High said he formed his people for himself. Let's go back to Jeremiah 13:1. Thus saith Yahweh unto me, go and get thee a linen girdle, and put it upon thy loins, and put it not in water. So I got a girdle according to the word of Yahweh, and put it on my loins. And the word of Yahweh came unto me the second time, saying, take the girdle that thou hast got, which is upon thy loins, and arise, go to Euphrates, and hide it there in the hole of the rock. So I went and hid it by Euphrates, as Yahweh commanded me. And it came to pass after many days that Yahweh said unto me, arise, go to Euphrates, and take the girdle from thence, which I commanded thee to hide there. Then I went to Euphrates and digged into the girdle from the place where I had hid it. And behold, the girdle was marred. It was profitable for nothing. So this girdle was basically fucked up now. It wasn't in the condition that it was at first. It says, then the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, thus said Yahweh, after this manner will I mar the pride of Judah and the great pride of Jerusalem. This evil people which refuse to hear my words, which walk in the imagination of their hearts, and walk after other gods to serve them and to worship them, shall even be as this girdle, which is good for nothing. So the Most High said he was going to, basically, he said, like, hey, this represent, Israel. Right? I'm going to mar them, basically destroy them. And that's what happened for the disobedience unto him and not following his law, statutes, and commandments. That is why we're in the condition we're in today. You got a lot of people asking, oh, why would God allow us to go through slavery? If he love us, why he do that? Man, it's because of us. We deserved everything we went through and still are going through. Hey, the scriptures say that we are getting less than what we deserve, actually. All right, so you complaining about nothing. You deserve death, to be destroyed. Right? But it says, this evil people which refuse to hear my words, which walk in the imagination of their heart, and it says, which walk in the imagination of their hearts, and walk after other gods to serve them and to worship them, shall be even as this girdle, which is good for nothing. Right? They worshiping these other gods that can do nothing for them. Right? Because they don't exist. They're simply idols of these different nations. Let me see if I can find that scripture. Psalms, I believe it's like 76 and 28. Let me see. Psalms 96 and 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but Yahweh made the heavens. See, so the gods of the different nations are just idols. They were man-made. These things were just made up. Hey, this is the word for idols. Strong's number H45:7. It says Allah Yahweh. And it says of naught, vanity, good for nothing, worthless. So you worshiping things that are good for nothing. What's that make you? You are good for nothing. Right? Vanity. An airhead. That's basically what you is. what you are. Right? But it says Yahweh made the heavens. So the Most High, the only true God, right, made the heavens. It's the only God that exists. And we know how he created the earth back in Genesis, the first chapter, right? Through Yahweh Shah and the angels. Right? But the Most High, the highest, right, exists. And not these gods of these different nations. So, from you to choose these different gods over the Most High, right, it's basically foolish. This is Jeremiah 2:13. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Right? They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, because all knowledge and all life comes from the Most High. All our spirits, the spirits all on earth, the Most High created them. All life and wisdom comes from the Most High. So he's the fountain of living waters. And it says our people have forsaken him. You see, you forsaken the living waters. And went to what? It says, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. And that represents these different philosophies and religions and gods that they try to worship today. It ain't no water, which the water represents the truth. It ain't no truth and no life in them. They can't hold no truth. They can't hold no water. It says no lie can be of the truth. None of that is the truth over these different religions. All right, which people highly esteem. And it says, my people have committed two evils, so it's an evil thing. So let's go back to Jeremiah 13. Jeremiah 13:10. This evil people which refuse to hear my words, which walk in the imagination of their heart. Hey, and Israel is hard-headed, man. They don't want to listen to nothing that the Most High got to say. It's always been about what they wanted to do. And whatever they felt, right, they needed to do. They constantly followed after their lusts and after wickedness. It says, and walk after other gods. So it says walk after other gods to serve them, to worship them. So they wouldn't just like, oh, they praying in the name of these different gods, this and that. It says walk after other gods. When scriptures say Noah walked with the Most High, what that meant? Hey, he was following his ways, following the laws, statutes, and commandments, being as righteous as he could be in the eyes of the Most High. So when these people walk after these different gods, they're walking in their ways, walking in the ways of these different gods, the lifestyle that comes with serving this God. So they completely threw out the way of the Most High and walked in the ways of these different nations, of the lifestyle and the ordinances and the traditions that come with these different gods. And it says, shall even be at this girdle, which is good for nothing. For the girdle cleaveth to the loins of a man, so have I caused to cleave unto me the whole house of Israel and the whole house of Judah, said Yahweh. Right, so, hey, like I said earlier, hey, he formed his people, he formed us, the Israelites, for himself, right? And he joined us unto him through the law. Amos 3:1. Hear this word that Yahweh has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. You only have I known. How do he know us? Through the law. Right? He ain't never dealt with nobody as he dealt with the children of Israel. He only knew us. He only gave us the law, right, to follow. You see, and how to be pleasing unto him, and how to be obedient unto him. He showed us the way, the ways of life. All right, so we knew better. So that's why he said, I will punish you for all your iniquities. Right? Sin on top of sin. And you can only sin if you got the law. See, so he said that he caused us to cleave unto him. The Most High took care of us. This is Deuteronomy 32:9. For Yahweh's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. So the Most High only cares about Israel. Right? We are his people. We are his. We belong unto him. Right? He's most focused on Israel. Since he found them in a desert land and in a waste howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. Right? And in the wilderness, there's not many resources. Right? It's not much food. You see, it's hard to survive in the wilderness. You see? So Israel came from nothing. We were slaves. And the Most High came and he got us up out of there. He said he led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. It's the center of the Most High's attention. That's what Israel is. Right? And it's still that way. It hasn't changed. It's just the mindset of our people have changed. And the way that they live in their lives. The Most High still cares. The Most High said in the Apocrypha, I believe he says to elders, lovest thou, my people more than me? Roughly paraphrasing. Nobody loves Israel more than the Most High loves Israel. And that love is not going to change. The Most High is never going to forsake Israel because he made a covenant. And the Most High is not going to break that covenant. He's not going to go back on his word. See, the Most High stays true to his words. The Most High is a man that shall not lie. It says, as an eagle stirred up her nest, fluttered over her young, spread it abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings. Right, taking care of. How an eagle take care of her young. The Most High did it for us. That's why if you go to what that is, Exodus 4:11, I believe. No, it's not that. It's in here though, I believe. Right. Exodus 4:22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus said Yahweh, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. So he treats the nation like his firstborn son. And if you have a firstborn son, hey, it's nothing like that for a man to have a son. Hey, you're gonna show him the right way, lead him in the right direction, teach him everything that you know, right? So he can be good, take care of him, cherish him, feed him, give him clothes, water, whatever he needs, right? To bring him up on a level to where he's able to, protect himself and provide for himself. Hey, but the Most High, he's always going to provide for us. That's how the Most High looks at us as his firstborn son. Hey, because what other people has he ever dealt with? Nobody. He formed us and created us into this nation that we are today. So it's like a son to him. So he has a different type of love for us than he has for these different nations. So Yahweh alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him. So when we was brought out of Egypt, it was only the Most High that did it. Right? The reason why we were delivered was because of the Most High. It wasn't no strange God, no Buddha, no Allah, none of them. Right? And none of them gods show up to deliver us that these people worship today. And they ain't doing nothing to stop anything that's going on right now. Jake always getting wrongfully accused, or wrongfully judged, because Jake do be doing some wicked shit, but when they get judged, they might give Jake 120 years or 300 years. Like, you don't even live that long. But Esau will give you a sentence 3 times your lifetime. Jake getting gunned down in the streets, which all this is the judgment of the Most High. But what I'm saying is these different gods and religions are not protecting them. Verse 13, he made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields. And he made him to suck honey out of the rock and oil out of the flinty rock. Most High provided us all our resources. Butter of kine and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams, of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat, and thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape. Right? The Most High was giving us everything, providing us everything that we needed. We didn't want for nothing. But it said, but Jeshurun, which is another name for Israel, Yasharwan, which means the first. All right, we're the first out of everybody, the first nation. Well, we're in the first nation, but we are the top of the nations. Says that way. The Most High only cares for us and deals with us on a different level. It said, but Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxing fat. Thou art grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness. Right? Then he forsook the Most High, which made him and highly esteemed the rock of his salvation. So, Israel was getting fed on a whole different level. They was feeling themselves, right, and felt like they didn't need the Most High. They were getting blessed with all this money and all these sheep and cattle and resources. You know, they had the riches because those are real riches, living good. I feel like they ain't need the Most High no more. That's what it means. They waxed fat and kicked. They rebelled, bucked up. Right? And forsook the one who gave us all these things. And look at the condition that we are in today. Right? Or the 2/3, I should say. Good for nothing. They good for nothing. They is, like the Most High said, they should be even at this girdle. Right? So, Jeremiah 13 and 11, for as the girdle cleaveth to the loins of a man, so have I caused to cleave unto me the whole house of Israel and the whole house of Judah, said Yahweh, that they might be unto me for a people and for a name and for a praise and for a glory, but they will not hear. This is what we're bringing our people back to, or trying to bring them back to. But really, this is only for the elect, right? But the 2/3 will hear this and not want to hear. And that's fine, because the Most High said that. Let these people have ears to hear, but understand not. Eyes to see, but see not, or perceive not. Yahweh said, my sheep shall hear my voice. So whoever is meant to hear this message and hear this word, they will hear it. Therefore thou shalt speak unto them this word. Thus said Yahweh Israel, everybody shall be filled with wine, and they shall say unto thee, do we not surely know that every bottle shall be filled with wine? Then shalt thou say unto them, thus says Yahweh, behold, I will fill all the inhabitants of this land, even the kings that sit upon David's throne, and the priests and the inhabitants and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with drunkenness. Hey, spiritual drunkenness, man. These people are drunk. Hey, they drunk as fuck, intoxicated off of these different religions. Right? They not in their right frame of mind. They are stumbling all over the place and vomiting. Right? Spewing madness. When you drunk, and you get to talking, man, you talking about some crazy shit. Hey, this is what they own. And the Most High gave them over unto that. And we all was up under it, but the Most High pulled us up out of it through his word, through this breath, through this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And I will dash them one against another, even the fathers and the sons together, said Yahweh. I will not pity, but spare or have mercy, but destroy them. So they're going to be destroyed because you good for nothing. You worshiping these different gods. The Most High have no need for you. You ain't worshiping him, giving him the praise, praying unto him, right? Walking in his laws, statutes, commandments, right? Hey, because we are Zion. Zion is a monument, basically remembrance, basically a representation of the Most High on the planet Earth. The Most High is supposed to look at us, right? Or people are supposed to look at us and see the Most High on us by the way we live. And they don't see that. So if you ain't doing that, then hey, you good for nothing. Right? Because people will look at that and praise the Most High. All right, so this is John 15 and 5. I am the vine. See, how I said, you are the branches. He that abideth in me and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit, right? You're gonna prosper in the spirit, right? Because you're operating under the spirit of Yahushua. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, where it says, for without me, you can do nothing. So you ain't got the Lord, you can do nothing. You are nothing. You are good for nothing. You see, you have no protection. You have nothing. You see? So all that's left for you is really just to be destroyed. Why are you here? You are dead without the Most High. Those dead bodies in Revelation 11 and 8, that's what these people are. They're dead. Most High ain't got no use for them. Even the ones who know that they're Israelites. Because a lot of them ain't even right in the mind. They not coming in the right spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, how he wants us to act down here, how he wants us to be, how he wants us to live. All right? They filled with drunkenness too. All right, but all these people are going to be in this frame of mind to the end. I'll end it off with these. Isaiah 6 and 9. He said, go and tell these people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. So no matter what you say, no matter what you say and how you present it, you see, they're not going to be able to get it. Right? Make the heart of these people fat and make their ears heavy and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and convert and be healed. So these people, they're going to be filled with all these different philosophies, drunk off of these different religions, this and that. Right? Hey, but the Most High, he's going to keep them in his way. He put them in that way. He's blinding them. Right? Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. So they're going to be this way unto the destruction. These people going to get destroyed with Babylon the Great, which is America. You see? They're going to get fucking obliterated with this place. Because the Most High has no use for them. You see? What it says in the book of Romans, the 9th chapter. Let me get that. Romans 9 and 6. Not as though the word of the Most High had taken on effect, for they are not all Israel, which are Israel. Right? Just because you are an Israelite don't mean the Most High going to deliver you or save you. You got to be doing what you've been put on this earth to do, which is worship the Most. What it says, Ecclesiastes 12, the whole duty of man. Right? Worship the Most High, keep his commandments. Right? But that's it. Hope this lesson was edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom.